Hi students, day 2, solve for y, then graph. So today we're going to do two processes. The first one is we are going to solve the equation into y equals mx plus b form, and then we're going to graph them. So the first example, you can just watch and you don't have to write anything down. So I'm going to do this one. If I look, this equation is not in y equals mx plus b form. So what do I need to do to get this y alone? I need to move the 4x over. So I'm going to subtract the 4x from both sides of the equation. This cancels out. I'm left with y equals, and these are not like terms, so I just need to put the mx term first. So I'm going to put negative 4x, and this is a positive 3, so I'm going to put plus 3. Now my equation is in y equals mx plus b form. So you want to identify what is m. M is negative 4, and you always want that as a fraction. B is positive 3. Remember, m is your slope. That's how you move. So it's negative. I'm going to go down and always to the right. B, this is your y-intercept, and that's where you begin. So I'm going to begin at positive 3 on the y-axis. So I plot a point at positive 3. And then I'm going to move down 4 to the right 1. Down 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, to the right 1. Down 4, to the right 1. And you just continue that process. You can also go up, go back to your beginning. You can do the opposite of both, up and to the left. So you go up 4, to the left 1. And then with your straight edge, draw a line through your whole graph and put arrows at the ends. You can also check slope dude. What's slope dude saying? Nice, negative. And what's your slope? Negative. Now we can do one together. So go ahead and write down this equation. And then look, is this in y equals mx plus b form? No. So what do we need to do to get the y by itself? We need to move the 3x to the other side of the equal sign. So this is a positive 3x, you're going to put a negative 3x so that cancels out. Put a negative 3x on both sides. Bring your y down. This goes away. I have y equals. These are not like terms, so you just list them. Put the mx term first, and then your negative 5. Now your equation is in y equals mx plus b form. So identify your m, negative 3, and make it a fraction. You can put it over 1. Remember, that is your slope. That's how you move. And then identify your b. Your b is negative 5. Don't forget to take the sign in front. That goes with your b. Again, that is your y-intercept, and that's where you begin. So I'm going to begin at negative 5 on the y-axis. I'm going to plot a point. And then with my slope, it's negative, so I'm going to go down, and remember, always to the right. So from that point, I'm going to count down 3 to the right 1. Down 3 to the right 1. I can also go up 3 to the left 1. Remember, it's opposite of both. So up 3 to the left 1. And then again, with your straight edge, draw your line. And don't forget, put arrows on your line and make sure that it goes through your whole graph. And don't forget, test slope, dude. Nice, negative. What's your slope? Negative. So go ahead and try this one. Pause the video, write down the equation, and solve. And then come back and I will solve this with you. Okay, you should have solved by now. If you haven't, press pause so that you can continue to solve and graph. But let's solve this for y. Remember, you want the y by itself, so you're going to move the 6x over by subtracting 6x. Bring down your y equals. Remember, those are not like terms, so you just list them. And now your equation is in y equals mx plus b form. So your m is -6, make it a fraction, put it over 1. Your b is -4. Don't forget to take the sign in front. So it's negative, you're going to go down and always to the right. So I'm going to start at -4, plot a point. I'm going to go down 6 to the right 1, or up 6 to the left 1. You can go opposite of both. And then draw the line. So your graph should look like that. Remember, at any time you can pause the video if it's going too fast, so you can write information down. Next example. Again, you can just watch as I do this one. So my y term is not by itself. It has a 3x with it, but notice that the y also has a 5. So let's send the 3x to the other side first. So I'm going to subtract 3x. I bring down my positive 5y, and that equals -3x, and this is a positive 15, so I put plus 15. Now, to separate the 5 from the y, divide everything by 5. Remember, it has to be all the terms. So 5 over 5 is 1. I'm at 1y equals. I cannot simplify this, so I just put -3 over 5x. And then I can simplify this, so I put plus 15 divided by 5 is 3. My equation is in y equals mx plus b form. So this is just like the last equation, except y now has a coefficient. So after you move the mx term over, then you're going to have to divide by the coefficient of y. So again, identify your m. Your m is -3/5. So you're going to go down and to the right. Your b is a positive 3. So I'm going to start at positive 3 on the y-axis. I'm going to go down 3 to the right 5. I can also, remember, do the opposite of both. I can go up 3 to the left 5. And then with your straight edge, draw your arrows. Okay, so let's try one together. Write this down. Okay, it is not in y equals mx plus b form, so I'm going to send the 3x over by subtracting 3x. Bring your negative 4y down. Don't forget that negative sign in front. These are not like terms, but negative 3x plus 0 is just negative 3x. If you want to add 0 there, you can, but you don't need to. Now, what do? Divide by negative 4. Don't forget to take the sign with you. Negative 4 divided by negative 4 is a positive 1y equals a negative over negative is a positive 3/4 x. It is now in y equals mx plus b form. So what is m? M is 3/4. B is, if there's nothing there, then it's plus 0. So B is 0. That means I put a point at the origin. I'm going to, it's positive, so I go up and to the right. So from the origin, I go up 3, to the right 4. Plot a point. And remember, you can go the opposite of both. You can go down 3 to the left 4. And then draw your line. Okay, you can always check slope dude again. He's standing here. What's he saying? Puff, puff, positive. Your slope is positive. Go ahead and write this down. Graph it. Check your progress. Pause the video. Come back. And I will solve it with you. Alright, so you should have solved this for y. I'm going to go ahead and put a 1 in front of the x. I'm going to move this over, subtract 1x, bring down your negative 5y equals negative 1x plus 5. Remember, a 5 by itself is a positive 5, so I need to put a plus there. And then divide by negative 5. And don't forget to divide everything. So negative 5 over negative 5 is a positive 1. So I have 1y equals negative over negative is a positive. And so I have 1/5 x. A positive over a negative is a negative. 5 over 5 is 1. So you have it in y equals mx plus b. M is 1/5 positive, so you're going to go up and to the right or down and to the left. And then B is negative 1. So I start at negative 1, and with my slope I'm moving up 1 to the right 5 or down 1 to the left 5. Does your graph look like that? I hope so. All right. Well, I don't think you're going to be doing a Sage and Scribe because you're on the computer. But go ahead and do number 7. Try number 7 and 8. See what you come up with. Pause the video. When you're done with both, come back, check your answers. All right, you should have finished the graphing by now. Does the first one look like that? If you move the 8x over, you should have 5y equals negative 8x minus 15, and then divide everything by 5. So you'll have y equals negative 8/5 x minus 3. So you start at negative 3. You cannot go down 8 because when your m is negative 8/5, you can't go down 8 to the right 5. So you need to go up 8 to the left 5. And plot your point graph, the line. All right, and then number 8 looks like this. And so I will work it up here. 4x minus 5y equals negative 15. I'm going to move the 4x over, and I have negative 5y equals negative 4x minus 15. Divide everything by negative 5. Y equals a negative over a negative is a positive. And negative over negative is a positive. 15 divided by 5 is 3. So I start at 3. And my m is 4/5. So technically I'm supposed to go up and to the right. But if I can't go up, then I go down and to the left. So down 4 to the right 5. And remember, always check slope, dude. If you tell me that your slope is a positive 4/5, slope dude should be over here saying puff puff positive. And he is. Okay, your homework for the day is solve for y, then graph. Have fun. Be good for the sub. Bye.